Hello, welcome to another edition of From the Bars to the Bricks Prison Ministries Incorporated. I'm Kev, your favorite felon. Today is kind of one of them videos that, man, it's informative, it's a good one, it's stuff people need to hear, but man, it's a rough one. I've gone over this like the 10th shot at shooting this because I didn't like it, but we're going to try this time. I want to thank, but anyway, today we're going to talk about me and like some of the most terrible time in prison and seeing my son incarcerated. I want to thank my viewer and subscriber, commenter, STST. Thank you for the video suggestion. I love the comments. I love the interaction. Thank you very much, you guys. This video today, it was kind of like a list of things I thought about but hadn't put to video. STST suggested I should do a video about me incarcerated versus seeing my kids incarcerated, and that's, yeah. So, without further ado, thank you again, STST. Thank you. Keep up the comments. Everybody else, please like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know what you want to see, what you want to hear about. If it's something I don't have a personal experience with, I can research, check it out. If it's, a doable thing, hey, we're going to do a video on it. I will respond to my viewers, you guys, or what's important. It's the content you guys want to hear that is relevant. So, without further ado, so, as being incarcerated off and on from age 13, 14, like a couple little overnighters in juvie, to a full-on incarceration at 16, and then multiple incarcerations thereafter as I got older and an adult and continued on my life of dumbness. My parents, even my kids when I was older in the last stint, it's just we're in prison with you, we're this, with that. It's like we're doing time too. And at the moment, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm the one that's sitting in prison. I'm the one doing this time. I'm the one that's away from my family. And here y'all talking about you. But it was about me. In reality, now I see their point. And again, it's not always about me. And I've never been one to... In fact, I really had a disdain for guys that be on the phone with their mothers or wife, girlfriend, baby mama, whatever the case was. Oh, you stupid and this and that. You better send me money. And nope, I put myself in jail. That is on me. If someone sends me money, that was awesome. I appreciated every penny. But it wasn't a given. That was, that's their money. So I wasn't like a selfish person anyway. I wanted to sit in prison. I always shared with friends and cellies and stuff like that, but I never got it. So I go back 2015. I go back to county jail to go fight in the court. Gave back a bunch of time, and I wake up. I'm not good with dates, especially when you're incarcerated. You don't give a darn about the calendar. You don't really want to track dates and time and stuff. It makes time just drag. A lot of times you're looking at a calendar and thinking of the days, the hours, the time, whatever, especially in county jail. And I'm going to do a video about the difference in county and prison too here one of these days. But the June the 17th of 2015, I woke up I'm in a dorm. Let me set the setting. I'm in a dorm in Sedgwick County Jail. There's two rows of bunks with a aisle in between, a little wall, maybe 3 foot just above your head when you're laying down. That's, comes up behind you and then is like up above a little bit, like just enough you can set a book up there or something. Then there's another section. There's 4 sections, and I want to say it's like 48 people. I think there was 12 in each section. Rows of 6 bunks. But I woke up and look over, see the officer on the other side kicking the bunk, and he's hollering my son's last name, which is not an uncommon last name. And then I hear him, Tyrone. I look over and I see a white hand. My son's name's Tyrone. He's white. There's not many white Tyrones I know. He always goes by Ty. In fact, people call, they think they're trying to be formal or whatever. If I'd answer the phone or if they'd knock on the door, answer the door, is Tyler here? Nope, no Tyler here. Well, he said he lived here. I just talked to him, and so Ty don't live here. Ty lives here. Tyrone, not Tyler. But anyway, so uncommon name. Got my kind of attention. I look over, and sure enough, I peek over the bunk. My son Ty's laying there. The cop's trying to get his attention, wake him up to go to court. My kid had been locked up, juvie and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't no stranger to the system. But myself was incarcerated and didn't quite grasp it just didn't like sink in as much or something. I don't know. It didn't hit me as hard. But man, when I saw him in them oranges, man, that bothered me. But it wasn't as bad. We're in county jail. As much time at this point, I had already done 13 years on this sentence, and other sentences, a couple years. So I mean, in county jail is not that serious. Looking at his charges weren't that serious. Like, I can get your probation. And he's like, I got a terrible court-appointed attorney. I don't care who your attorney is. As long as just let me file the motions, they can argue them. I'll get you corrections. And I got him corrections. But anyway, that time, though, we spent 6 months in county jail together in this pod, in this dorm. And sad to say, it was the best 6 months I had with my son. We were like just one-on-one. It was me and him. I mean, there's other people in the pod, but I mean, it was me and him. We were together. We were, a family unit. I hadn't had that real family unit in years. I was cellies with my little brother, and those, Eric's not my biological brother. We met in prison. We were friends in prison and became family in prison. That is my little brother. I don't give a damn. Last name, smash name, it don't matter. We got the same blood related or what. He's the most loyal, most family, best brother the world can have. But anyway, I hadn't had a true, and here my kid was, and I'm like, man. And, well, anyway, we rearranged our schedule. We'd be out at night. We'd spend time, just me and him, one-on-one, just us. Pow, me and Ty. He got out. I got out exactly a week later. Him, my son Josh, and my mother picked me up from the county jail after I'd done 13 years and a day. Like I said, I gave back all my time. So the early release, got released from county, immediate release. I was 7.5 years over my time. So they had to let me go. And, but anyway, we did good. For a couple months. Then the K2 and the alcohol set in. Well, it was all downhill. All downhill. Any of you are familiar with any of especially the K2? It's destructive. Completely destructive. It's right there with meth with me with it's devil's drugs. Because it took my life over in a negative way. But anyway, I had some money. House paid for. didn't really have many bills, so I was kind of lazy. And I only had a couple months of parole time left. They really didn't care if I got a job or not, stay out of trouble. That's all they cared. That was the whole process, this whole thing. No programs, no requirements, no restrictions, just stay out of trouble. You got, I think I had 4 months, 5 months on parole after I got out. So it was just get it done, knock it out, you know. So anyway, me and Ty still spent some time together. We made time every day, even on the streets, an hour a day that me and Ty would spend father-son time. And, you know, drugs, one thing to another, I ended up in jail. A situation that wasn't supposed to happen the way it was. Things didn't work out. Wasn't able to get some stuff from a pawn shop that I'd borrowed from somebody. I knew they were going to call the cops when they found out, when they come home from out of town. I made a bad situation worse. Went and cleaned out the house. Ended up getting locked up for robbing a house and a family member's home. And that family member don't talk to me to this day. And it's unfortunate, you know. We can't go back and change things. You know, there's a lot of bad blood, but it's my mother, my biological mother. There was some bad blood throughout the years, but, you know, in all, she did bring my kids up regularly to visit. She did accept my phone calls, you know. That in itself is a lot. And I took all that for granted. She helped me out a lot, and I took all that for granted. But anyway, like I said, it wasn't supposed to happen like that. And instead of just letting her know, hey, I borrowed these items, took the pawn shop, I know without your permission, um, just give me a sec, I'll get them back. Nope. I made a bad situation worse. But anyway, I'm in jail. Ty's still out. Within 2 weeks, a mutual, someone that was in the pod with us before in the dorm a couple years prior, because it's now, you know, or that, I mean, I'm sorry, that wasn't 2015, that was 2017. I said 2015, or that's 2017. But we go to, I come back from somewhere, I don't remember where I was, like a attorney visit or something. No, oh no, I was in a clinic, and I'd come back, and the clinic's on the second floor of the Sedgwick County Jail. I come back, and another guy come back from the pod, and to the pod I was in at the time. It was like pod 4, and he's like, "Hey man, I just saw your son." And I said, "Huh?" He said, "I just saw Ty." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, he's in court holding. He just got uh, arrested. He's going to his." I'm like, I was devastated, and I knew a couple days before something wasn't right. Something was wrong. Me and Ty have always had that connection. I could, you know, I just felt it. Something was off. Sure enough, he was on the run from the cops. We ended up getting caught. He booked into jail. But yeah. So I didn't see Ty for a while. You know, in them times we ended up out of county together for a while. You know, and again we got sentenced. I'm in RDU, and I'm 3 weeks into my RDU or so, 3.5 weeks maybe. I walk out, and I'm in the day room area, and here comes the new guys down the hall. And just like I described Sedgwick County Jail, RDU at this time now is on the east side of El Dorado, and it just it's open. There's a hallway. It opens up the pods. You can see, you know, a little bit around the pods. There's an officer bubble in the middle. People coming down the hall, whatever pod you're in, you can see them as they come, you know, before they go left or right, whatever. I'm right across from the pod. When you come into G pod 3 for your first 48, 72 hours or more, uh, until they move you into general population of RDU, where you have a little more movement, stuff like that. But you're anyway, that first 2-3 days or more, you're locked down. You don't come out for nothing. You're except for some testing and stuff like that. But otherwise, you're in your house. You eat in your house, everything. But so I look up and I see this red hair, red beard kid, no glasses, squinting. It's Ty. Had them RDU Reds on. Had that KDOC inmate badge with a fresh KDOC number. That killed me. Absolutely devastated me. I communicated briefly through the windows. The officer at the time that was on the floor, Sergeant Kelly, I don't think he's even there anymore, hopefully not. He was a very hateful individual. Just didn't care. He was just hateful. He was there to write you up, to punish you, to just be crappy to you, talk bad to you. That was it. He was like he was the punishment. In reality, prison is the punishment. You're away from your family. You're away from your life. That is punishment. You're not sent to prison for extra punishment. But anyway, he was, you gotta quit talking, you're getting rode up. And I'm like, hey, that's my son. And he's like, I don't care who it is. And, it's like, for real? I mean, so anyway, I locked down. I'm not going to argue with him. You don't win. So Ty went and locked down. I didn't want my son in trouble either. And so you get in trouble in RDU, it can really mess your time up. I didn't want my son in Max at all. Behind the walls, anywhere. And that can affect your custody if you get into trouble while you're in RDU. So anyway, later on that night, there was a sergeant who will remain unnamed because he went that extra mile. He allowed me and my son to go sit out at a table in the day room of the pod he was in the lockdown pod, and visit for half an hour to an hour, and which was cool. He didn't have to do that. It's technically kind of against the rules. It is, but it isn't. It's like one of those unwritten, because you're supposed to be locked down all the time and this and that. And so, I mean, it was my day room time on the, because where I was at in RDU, you get an hour out of day room. And where Ty was at, he didn't have no day room. But anyway, they let him out there and let me go into another pod. So I appreciate that. But I mean, after I saw him in the hallway and they made me lock down, I went up there, and my bunkie give me the bottom bunk, had bad knees and stuff like that, and some health issues. He was a little better health. He was older than me, but better health, better shape. Anyway, man, I just sat down, and thankfully, I mean, I had a good bunkie. He had never done time before, nothing like that. So we had kind of built a little bit of a bond because I'm a likable person. I talk to most people, and I try to be, when I do talk to people, like or dislike, I try to be polite and cordial, treat people how I want to be treated. I don't care if you don't like me. You don't have to be disrespectful, whatever. I'm not disrespectful. You don't need to be disrespectful to me. My Sally was that way. I went in, man, I sat in my bunk. I just knelt over, put my hands on my face, my head like that, and I broke down. I lost it. And, of course, Matt didn't go out to day room, my cellie, and so he's thinking maybe I had a phone call or something, some bad news. Somebody passed away or something. And Matt was a really good guy, and Matt hopped down, and he's like, "Hey, you all right, bro? Hey, you good, Kev?" And he's like, "What's up?" And did you get some bad news? I was like, I was looking at him, and I know my eyes would be full of water and my face wet, and like, I just saw my son. And to see him in prison, and some parents, they want their kids to follow in their footsteps and this and that. I do not at all, in any shape or form or stretch the imagination, want anybody following in my footsteps. At least prior. Follow my footsteps now. I'm doing ministry work and doing good things and helping people. Don't follow the past, Kev. Bad example. Poor example. Do not want people in the footsteps, especially one of my kids. And to see that my son was going down the same path, as this was his third incarceration, albeit the first one in the adult penitentiary, it was his third incarceration. And the more times you're locked up, especially as the younger you are, statistics go up on the more times you're going to be locked up and how much more time you're going to do. And I saw this pattern in Ty that was in me. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Oh, I can do meth. It's okay. Back in, back out. Oh, I can do K2. Yeah, back in. The vicious cycle, or whatever the case. It just, I saw it come to reality. That day was horrible. Ty got out. I got out. Unfortunately, at the moment, Ty is reincarcerated in Sedgwick County, facing a decent amount of prison time. So that actually soon he'll be, hopefully now that the holidays are over this week, hopefully he'll be sent to DOC to do his underlying for his probation. But anyway, it just, man, it was devastating. Still devastating. I have another kid locked up who we negotiated, he negotiated a deal, got worked out. His attorney, really good attorney that helped me before, got him a very intensive drug treatment program that he needed. And he has to be on sober living for a couple of years, but the treatment's like 6 months. So it's a very intense inpatient treatment, very needed. And I'm going to use this opportunity. Be careful, people. Heroin, fentanyl, meth, cocaine, K2, they're killing people. You think these drugs are okay? They're killing people. Fentanyl is not okay. Fentanyl will kill you. There's many stars that have died from fentanyl. Pills and stuff like that will kill you. Both of my boys have had experience with pills. One, really bad with the fentanyl press, Perk 30s, and stuff with fentanyl. Almost died on us a couple times. Did officially die once from a heroin overdose and brought him back with Narcan and everything, but Narcan and resuscitation, CPR and everything. But it just, it's not just about you. If you have hurts or something, pains, that don't work to cover it up. It's just a cover up. They're still there when you sober up. And when you don't have what you got and what you want, your drug of desire or your drug of choice, whatever, Problems just get worse, and you got extra problems because you're out of your drug. So we really got to look at our lives. Anyway, this has been way too long. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to hear, and we'll bring it to you. I'm Kev. I'm your favorite felon. Y'all have a good day. Have a very, very blessed 2023, as today is New Year's Day of 2023. This year's going to be awesome. This ministry is going places. We're going to take over the world and reducing recidivism one life at a time right here in my area and expanding. We want to change lives. We want to make this world a better place. I'm Kev. I'm out. Y'all have a good one.